I'm not your gossip girl, I'm the headline. Truth with a curve, baby, redefine. Welcome to the thirst trap. All the truth looks good in a tight wrap. We talk real powers till it's in. Turn the world on, let the light in. Yeah, the thirst trap. Powers till it's in. Turn the you'll drink it up, it's the real you. They've been shining like first promos, where every headline's a revelation.
Welcome to Thirst Trap News. I am your host, Luna Lopez. Ladies and gentlemen, and the government agents watching me from their cubicles. Hi, sweeties. Welcome back to Thirst Trap News. The only show where freedom is hot, the truth is hotter, and socialism gets a lap dance straight to hell. Tonight, we're going in. Because Mama is done watching America get dragged through the ideological mud by people who still think communism works anywhere outside of a college dorm room debate. Let me tell you something. I didn't spend years perfecting this winged liner just to be ruled by globalist committees of joyless pencil pushers who think the future is beige jumpsuit and eating bugs for protein. No, baby. This is America only, not United Nations Hunger Games. And while we're at it, shout out to our corrupt politicians who somehow managed to commit every scandal known to mankind and still walk around Capitol Hill like it's the runway of Project Unaccountable. You ever notice that? If we mess up, we get fired. If they mess up, they get a book deal, a Netflix documentary, and a new beach house funded by donors who definitely have bodies buried somewhere. But tonight is a call to action, because if the Uniparty thinks we're just going to sit here, look cute, and take it, oh no, sweetheart, we can multitask. We can look cute and dismantle our globalist fantasy at the same time. Speaking of fantasies, can we talk about the weird fetish the far left has developed for gender dysphoria? Like, baby, I'm all for personal freedom. Like, do your thing. Live your life. Wear whatever sparkles make your soul sing. But this obsession the system has with turning confusion into a personality trait or into a medical industry gold mine, no. We're not fetishizing mental health struggles. We're not turning kids into experiments for big pharma. We're not pretending reality is optional because it trends well on TikTok. Masculinity and femininity are not the enemy. They are the spice of human existence. The divine dance of nature, magic, biology, and soul. But somewhere along the way, the globalist weirdos decided that strong men and elegant women threaten their plans for a population of soft, confused, obedient peasants. And here I am to say it out loud, with my heels and my lipstick perfect. No, not in this country, not in this century, not while I still have breath in my lungs and Wi-Fi to stream this show. Because America doesn't just need to be America first anymore. We've reached the point where it needs to be America only, economically, culturally, and spiritually. We fix the house first. We protect our borders first. We take care of our people first. We defend our freedom always. And the sanctity of human life, baby, that's not a talking point. That's the foundation. Human beings are sacred, not disposable, not programmable, not medically alterable on a whim because someone with a rainbow lanyard and a grant says affirm or else. Freedom means being free, fully, beautifully human in our natural forms, with our natural strengths and our natural differences. So tonight, pour a drink, put on your red and white and blue silk robe, and settle in, because we're about to roast socialism, clown the communists, drag the globalists, expose the corrupt politicians, and remind America that we are not the plaything of the New World Order. We are the land of the fire, the grit, beauty, and brains, and big America energy. And we're done being quiet about it. This is Thirst Trap News, where patriotism meets eyeliner, where freedom meets femininity, and where the truth, it stings, but in a sexy way. So what I got on the menu for you tonight? They're enslaving us. Why whites are superior. Stand up for the innocent. Jealous monkeys. The bigger plan. What's going on in Dallas? The socialists are coming. Public execution. Water is killing you. I hate feminism. Waymo drives into shootout. Detransition season. Mental health of liberal women. And too bad we didn't get VP Tim Walz. I used the sarcastic font for that. So welcome. Let's look at the chat and see who we got. Can I? All right. Let's see who we got. Okay. Hey, Andrew. Bill says, speak it, girl. And a nice 1,000% from Matt. And Bill says, I know you wrote a speech and all, but gotta watch that nowadays because people will think you're paid to say something. Hope you aren't, but just saying. Yeah, if you heard any of the words in my speech and you think I was paid to say that, yeah, okay. Yes, I love Trump, but I can't watch this because you're reading from something. Hope you wrote it, but no clue. Yeah, I fucking wrote my own goddamn monologue. What the fuck does that even mean? You can just like go ahead and walk out, Buell. Like nobody has you here. You don't have to fucking listen to any fucking thing you don't like. All right, let's look at Rumble. Hello, Data. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you, sir. And the other faceless person that is on Rumble as they come in. All right. How are you guys doing? Today's been a day. Look, my nice Trump cup again. Don't you just love it? Trump has such impeccable, luxurious taste. Thank you, Data. I appreciate you liking my monologue. I like to start with a monologue because it's the best way I can sum up all of my thoughts from the day. Like, this is what's on my mind. And this is what we're going to talk about. And I like to jot it down as the day goes. And then I get more fancy with it right before the show. And I make it more of like a, something you'd see on like a late night show, Happy says, we need more women like you. Oh, goodness. Well, you're so sweet. I'm trying to create lots of little America-only clones of me. We love Daddy Trump, but we're trying to get the message to Daddy Trump that, hey, we really are starting to have a problem with where our dollars are going. And we really kind of only want them go to America. Sorry. I think we should totally pause H-1B visas for like 10 years. Because 80% of the H-1B visas are going to entry-level jobs. And we have plenty of people that need those jobs. Plenty. Like, what about all the people entering the workforce as youth? Remember when we were going in the workforce, we were McDonald's, Wendy's, the Piggly Wiggly or, whatever. I think that those jobs need to, these parents been saying, their kids are having trouble getting even an entry-level job. And I was like, what is going on? Well, that's what it is. Jack says, hey, girl. Hey, honey. How you doing, baby? It's good to see you. All right. I've paused temporarily on my quitting vape thing. I have hit it way, 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 way less to the point where I can actually feel it hitting my lungs. But before I didn't feel it. So hitting it actually now is reminding me why I'm not doing it. But I'm at such a freaking stressful point in my life. Like, I just don't know if I should be putting that much on me right now. But I don't really know. I don't know what the thing is to do. Half the time, I don't know if I even care if my lungs give out and I die. Like, sometimes it'd be like that. You know what I mean? Life is fucking hard. Especially states with no income tax. Like Texas and Florida, there's always some fucking racket going on in these states that you have to battle every day arguing where they're trying to extort you from money somehow because we don't collect state income tax. So there's like always crazy shenanigans going with the utilities, with your insurance, with anything and everything where they can find a way to fucking squeeze out an extra dollar. They do. Has no one noticed that I'm wearing glasses? Like, I never wear glasses and no one said anything about my grandpa glasses. My 1970s Jeffrey Dahmer grandpa glasses. Y'all don't like them? I like them. I think they're cute. Oh yeah, California it's wild to see what happened in California. Yeah, I went out to California in my early 20s when I was modeling, for bullshit, modeling when I didn't know like that it's Sodom and Gomorrah in the entertainment industry. And then I went back like 3 years ago and I was like, holy hell, what the fuck have these Democrats done but pocket the money? I mean, I was calling my husband in the hotel, which was a 4-star hotel. That was so expensive. And it was a fucking hooker hotel. And I had to like stay on the freaking FaceTime with him all the time. It was so gross. And I was so weirded out. And just everything looked broken down. Everything. It looked worse in Florida. Florida buildings look old all the time because we have salt in the air and it just eats away at everything. And everything has to get layers of paint. Metal, wood, plastic gets layers of paint. And then that paint gets chewed up and then more layers of paint. So everything just looks freaking old out here. And then in LA, it just looked dilapidated and like just like Gotham City almost. It's like Gotham, in some places. Like, and I've seen videos like that of Pennsylvania, or I don't know, it was Pittsburgh or Philly, but one of those two places was super bad. It looked like Gotham City, and it's just so sad. Detroit, Chicago, all these like iconic American cities have just so sad. Can't stop won't says hello, or sorry, hola. How you doing? Wild Child's here. Hey honey, how are you? We already chased one person off who was literally like off the gate going, I can't tell if you're reading that monologue or not. And if you're reading it, I don't know if you wrote it or if someone else wrote it. I'm like, what the fuck does it matter? It's my thoughts. It went down on paper. Who gives a fucking rat's ass if I'm reading it? It's the content. We're trying to create a movement here. We're upgrading MAGA to only make America great again, but only America great again. It's got a little asterisk. I'm glad you're doing wonderful, Wild Child. I'm doing good now that I'm on here. Is that why you're wearing glasses? Well, honestly, the reason why I put my glasses on today is because your girl's got dark circles and she's really stressed out. And it's just like makeup was not doing it for me. I look like it was hard to cover the bag. So, I just feel like the glasses make me look smarter. And I know I'm doing something right because I've been pissing people off the last freaking few days. Whoo-wee, I'm telling you. Israel's getting in my chat. Israel first sympathizers are getting in my chat. The fucking people are getting pissed off because they don't understand when I say America only. They think I'm like ruining MAGA and like turning on Trump. Listen, I fucking love Trump, but if anyone knows me by now, I'm just honest. I call out what needs to be called out, and I praise what needs to be praised. It doesn't, just because I call out something I don't agree with Trump doing doesn't mean that all of a sudden I don't like him anymore. Like no one would stay married if that's how things worked. Like you get married, at the altar, everything's not going to just stay PG. You make a commitment in your head. You're going to stay together and do this thing. So when we voted for Trump, we made a commitment that we were going to support Trump for the next fucking 4 years. And that's what I'm fucking doing. But if I have a goddamn suggestion, I'm motherfucking gonna say it. And Trump knows he's listening to me. I know he is. And so I say what I need to say. And if he had a problem with it, his friends will call me on the phone and fucking tell me. Just like they did about Byron Donalds a couple days ago. You know, telling me, oh, I respect your opinion, you know. There's nothing I could point to policy-wise that I can say is like, about Byron Donalds. I just don't like that he's all for the H-1B. Says that's my only complaint. My real complaint about Byron Donalds is he's an elitist. He's black. And he looks through you and down at you because he thinks because he's black and now somebody that he doesn't have the time of day. Now, he hasn't said any of those words. It's just the vibe I get off of him. And I could have been a really strong ally for Byron Donalds. I'm a strong campaigner. And I really could have been an asset for him. But, you know, my allies over in office were like, yeah, I get it. But, you know, we got to support who Trump supports. And I was just kind of like, Y'all aren't ready for the 40-year-olds yet. We're getting there. JD Vance is a little bit closer because the way he talks, you know, the way he addresses shit. I like the way he talks. But we're only in, you know, year 1. So, you know, he's still got a lot of, as a manager and him as my employee that I've hired, I'm still doing an assessment. And I don't idolize our Congress people or presidents because they're working for us. We are their managers. I don't idolize them. So I criticize and critique and show praise where they're weak and strong. And I do it with love. I was respectful to Biden because he was geriatric and I think going under elder abuse. Doesn't mean I was not honest about the fact that his entire presidency was hijacked by socialists in the White House and nothing was being done by him. That it was all being done by socialist sympathizers. Data says Tucker reads his monologue too. I bet most of the Tucker fans I know that. You know, all of them read their monologue. Theirs is just on a screen. But since I don't have the money for a teleprompter, I have it in notes. So that's what I do. Or I put it on my phone. Or sometimes I ask ChatGPT, I'll put in bullet points and be like, hey, put some filler in here for me. It knows my style and sometimes when I'm pressed on time. But it's all coming from me. And Alexander said, hello from Connecticut. Hi, Alex. I love seeing you come in on the chat. How are you doing tonight, honey? Disagreeing is healthy. Thanks, Racine. I agree. Thanks for the support. And Wolf says, I admire you for that. Thank you. Glasses are for seeing through the bullshit. That's right, Jack. I know your name's not Jack. I just call you that because your username is JCK. So it's like my little name for you. Welcome, Mark Scores and Forever Blessed. And Scott. Give Grandpa back his glasses. I like my Jeffrey Dahmer Grandpa glasses. You don't like my glasses? They're gold and they're plated in 24 karat gold. And it's got ebony wood. So, you know, there's certain things I don't believe spending cheap on. And then there's other things I never believe, like I always will shop at the dollar store. If it's going down a drain or in a trash can, it's dollar store. Dryer sheets, that kind of shit. But if it's like shoes, handbag, like leather goods, timepieces, jewelry, eyewear, sun and indoor, hair products, skin products, and anything you consume, I do not skimp on because quality is everything. And the resale value, if you can resell something, I will support that purchase. If it just gets used up and goes in the trash, let's bargain shop. And I got to tell you, we bought a 5-bedroom house during a time when, you know, we were just now making it as 30-year-olds. And we didn't realize all the shit you have to buy for a new house. So let me tell you, all the decor in my house, it's been frugal. People think I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in my house, and I have not. Billy says, Now she's really gonna make me tweet with the glasses. Yow. Y'all didn't catch me making fun of them. Hey, Hog Tie, good to see you, baby. All right, let's get going with our videos. Did y'all know they are enslaving us? I'm sure y'all know that because all my regulars, they're here. Let's see how they're enslaving us.
So I've just blew this shit the fuck up because I can't.
I like her style already.
Sit around idly by while they are literally enslaving us before our eyes. The UN just had a meeting about pushing this carbon footprint bullshit, and tonight Apple the Apple from Black Eyed Peas performed tonight, and he's going to be one of the first celebrities pushing this agenda, just like they were pushing the vaccine. I'm telling you all now, this is the precursor to global slavery. Policing humans on their carbon footprint is the precursor to global slavery. Wake the fuck up, people. You all just got fucking vaccinated. People just fucking died off the face of the earth. People are having health issues. And now it's okay to speak out against the
because literally, y'all heard me in my opening monologue where I said, oh yeah, we're not going to settle for the beige shoots and bugs for food. That's where we're going. That's where China is. China is there. China is not. I showed a video probably 3 weeks ago where everything is digital. The ID is digital. The socials, everything. You become a digital footprint, and you will literally not be allowed to buy. You are rationed. It's communism, just in digital form. It is exactly. I've done so much research on all this. It just looks more modern, so it doesn't. It fools you because it's a slow rollout. Oh, this little convenient thing. I can put my ID on my wallet on my iPhone. Oh, cool. No. That's a trickle. That's a slow drip that they're putting you on, quietly sliding you into communism. This is digital communism. Can I? Because the video's not done. Oh, it's not done, right?
Vaccine when a lot of us were getting fact check on social media, but now we can speak the truth. So guess what? They're going to do the same thing. It's the same pattern, same cycle over and over again, where they fucking police us, and then after like 10-15 years, then all of a sudden it's okay. But I'm not going to fucking stand here and let us get enslaved. So humans, wake the fuck up.
I love her.
So I just blew this shit the fuck up.
I love her. She's so my speed. Y'all listen to how she talk. Is that not how I talk? She's over here. She's a warrior girl. I want to know who she is. The Tina Torres. Maybe production can get her on the show. She's a Torres. She got that spice. I like it. We need her and I to collaborate, because her and I as a duo, could y'all imagine? Can I please have my, can you set it up like you had it yesterday with Instagram over here too? Because well, I can't do what we need to do because so there's another, maybe you could put 2 mouses in, because I don't want to have to be like live asking and saying excuse me and all that stuff. Okay, so never mind. It's gone now. Let's listen to this gentleman of color talk about why whites are a superior race. This has my interest.
So Piers Morgan and Tucker Carlson were having a conversation about how basically the white population is going extinct in England, right? And Piers Morgan was basically sitting there and being like, you know what? I don't really got a real big deal with that. You know, I like my Indian restaurants and shit, my tikka masala, you know, I'm fucking with that. And in fact, I would replace a lot of white people with a lot of foreigners coming in. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, see, this is what Piers Morgan and a lot of niggas don't really understand. Whiteness and the West go hand in hand. Whiteness and exploration go hand in hand. Whiteness and philosophy goes hand in hand. Whiteness and democracy.
That's actually true, because Africa, China, the Middle East, philosophy wasn't so big because they were so deeply religious and everything was structured around that. And then what he was saying about democracy was created by whiteness. I would have to check on that, but I am inclined, just going through my mental Rolodex, to believe that he is correct. Because I believe democracy started with America. The type of government where the people actually choose who is going to represent them, and it's for a limited time, and that the people have to vote on all the rules they want placed on them, that the community has to actually agree to it, that kind of thing. Can we turn that back flat towards me?
She goes fucking hand in hand. What does this mean? If white people are gone, the West is gone. All the things that has made the West great has come from white people. That's just the fucking truth. So if all these niggas are gone and you have the entire third world, Mohammed, Omar, all these niggas coming to your country and all the white people are now fucking gone, the third world just becomes the third world again. These niggas are coming to the West because the West is great. The West was created by white people. If the white people are fucking gone, then the West is not going to be great anymore. This is where you're just going to get the constant authoritarianism, the tyranny, and all the bullshit that you were trying to escape from.
Yeah, you guys are right. What y'all are saying in the chat, that's true. Greece. I knew it was white folks, but I couldn't remember who. But I thought, I guess I was just picturing our style of government, because Rome and Greece had a lot more like what Willie's talking about. They had a republic where it was a senate that Caesar had to persuade to get what he wanted, and then it became democratic republics in the West. So I think we're all right. All of us are right. We're all correct.
Because the white people are fucking gone. That's why we
so
actually
here.
needed the Wiggers. If the Wiggers are gone, the elections are fucking gone. I'm gonna be sitting here with all you dumb niggas because y'all aren't thinking about space. You guys aren't thinking about inventing anything or having democracy or any of these high levels of fucking thought. I'm gonna be like, hey y'all, we need a fucking election. Y'all gonna be like, nah, fuck that. War. Let's just kill niggas, because that's what it's like. So white people getting replaced is actually a horrible thing for the West completely. So Piers Morgan and Tucker Carlson were having a conversation about how basically the white population is going extinct in England, right?
I said I can let it play straight through.
And Piers Morgan was basically sitting there and being like, you know what? I don't really got a real big deal with that. I like my Indian restaurants and shit, my tikka masala, I'm fucking with that. And in fact, I would replace a lot of white people with a lot of foreigners coming in. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, see, this is what Piers Morgan and a lot of niggas don't really understand. Whiteness and the West go hand in hand. Whiteness and exploration go hand in hand. Whiteness and philosophy goes hand in hand. Whiteness and democracy goes fucking hand in hand. What does this mean?
I love how he's saying this just factually and isn't acting like it offends him in any way. This is a black man that is free from the slave mentality, and I applaud you, my brother. This is what I'm for. This is why I do the show. The second reason why I do the show, because I'm half black and I am so sick and tired of having people like Michelle and fuckface Obama constantly cramming down our throats why we should hate white people. I am half white, so I'm sick of it. Sorry, I'm wrong. I am. I'm gonna break this down. I'm triracial. 60% white. The rest is Blasian. That, because in my head I say Blasian, and to me the West Indies, it's a race in all of itself. Because we're just awesome. So I keep saying I'm like half and half, but I'm really not. I'm like white, black, and Asian in that order, greatest to least. So I like to show stuff like this because you see how he sounds. He doesn't talk in Ebonics. He's educated. You could tell he's got an accent because, he's got his culture. He's got also where he's from. But I have no problem with the cultural accent within the black community. I actually love it. What I hate is the undereducated bullshit. And I can't stand trying to talk like you a thought or you a thug all the time. Why is that the image you want to put out all the time. Why do we not want better for ourselves? Why do we not want to be educated, astute, and compete with the best of them? And I like the fact that he's talking about this because the Anglo-Saxon world power really took over fucking everywhere. So they were brilliant in somehow, some way. And I like the fact that he's just removing his emotion and just speaking on facts. This is a free man. This is a free man. And free men are attractive to me. Over here in Rumble. Oh, they raided me. And I said, let the fun begin. Yay. Maybe it was the damn snow we got yesterday. Maybe. You know what? I've been wanting to hook up my Xbox somehow to a streaming service. I just don't know how yet because I don't play PC because I'm old. I'm 40. I play Xbox and I'm playing Valhalla right now. I haven't touched it in probably like 9 weeks and I want to get back on it because I've been doing the show. So I figure if I want to get back on it, I can stream somehow and still do live and just play because I really am having the itch to play video games. Freeland Camara says, I'd suggest reading Death of the West by Pat Buchanan. Ooh, I've never heard of that. Crazy, who would have thought? Billy says, bad hip hop at the forefront of culture has spread how do you say that? I know what it is. I just can never. Yeah, when looking at the word, I don't know what to say. Misogyny and materialism. Conscious hip hop is good though. No, I don't even blame hip hop. I know why you say that because I used to say that, Billy. It's not the hip hop in and of itself. It's MK Ultra. Like, hiring Diddy, Diddy's a fucking fed. Just hiring people and putting the fucking juice boxes. You know what I'm saying? The juice boxes that took over the entertainment industry and deployed MK Ultra on us. That's what I attribute it all to. Wanting to make sure that, everyone who's not a Jew is dysfunctional. So yeah. Folks, we need to stand up for the innocent. And remember the other day when I said, is that the video you're going to play? Okay. Well, next video, stand up for the innocent.
One of the things in life that absolutely pisses me off more than anything is when people refuse to speak out against innocent people being harmed out of fear for what people might say about them. I'm not one of those people, so we're going to talk about it. In Pakistan, a woman was raped, and instead of arresting the rapist, the Sharia Council decided that the rapist's sister should be raped by the victim's brother. The innocent teenage girl was publicly raped in front of 40.
This is so eerily like the Old Testament. So eerily like the Old Testament. It wasn't as extreme, but like if your husband died, like if my husband died and my husband's brother wasn't married, I would be forced to marry his brother under Judeo law, or before it became Judeo law. This was during, let's talk Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, right up to about Judges, right up to there before it really, even into Job, that era, before the Jewish law really started getting really, really thick. But, the Jewish law is still based, like the Old Testament of the Bible goes right alongside the Torah. The Talmud is their culty book, their internal book. Every cult religion has one. Mine had one. The Muslims have one. The Jews have an internal book for leadership. That is what the Talmud is. And the Talmud has stuff in there that's very close to this shit that the Islam and Muslim people have. You know, people ask me all the time, like, oh, we get in the racist conversation. It's like, I'm not racist, but I'm prejudiced very much so against Muslim culture. I can't stand Muslim culture. It is the most oppressive, abusive, demoralizing culture next to the belief system of the Talmud.
People in a practice called revenge rape in Sharia law. It is not racist to acknowledge that this culture is not compatible with the West. I could not possibly agree more, and shame on every single person who refuses to speak out on stuff like this out of fear of what people might say about them. You are weak. One of the things in life that absolutely pisses me off more than anything is when people refuse to speak out against innocent people being harmed out of fear.
And this makes me wonder, like, what everybody's going to do. Like, why we've just been being... 30 years ago, we thought we were being kind and inclusive, and we thought we were we weren't so far removed from segregation. I mean, when I was in first grade, I was born in 1985. When I was in first grade, my teacher didn't give me a chair or a desk for 4 months, and I was the only kid sitting on the floor in the classroom. Didn't know why. My dad knew why. I was the only kid of color in there. We were only 10 years separated in Georgia from segregation. So I think 30 years ago, we were all just buying into this inclusion so easily because we didn't want to have that stigma anymore. And what is done is now we have Muslims. How many is it in city position, local positions? 34 Muslim mayors. Mayor or mayor adjacent positions, 34 of them. And it's going to continue and continue and continue. And once they have enough bulk to them, this is what they're going to demand. Because, and it's coming up in the next shows, because I sent a video to production today. In Texas, in the city I used to live in the DFW Metroplex, in 2 cities over, area I used to live in, there's entire neighborhoods that are Muslim, the streets are being named after Muslim words, Sharia law words, last names that are Arabic. It's fucking happening, and people are in goddamn denial. They think it's just a gossip thing on the internet. They think it's just clickbait. It's very, very, very real. And if you don't want your grandkids to be forced into this shit, you better fucking start going to every one of your city council meetings. And if it's totally copacetic in your personal city council meeting, go to the town over. Start getting involved in your local politics. It's really actually kind of fun. It really is. You get to meet so many people. You get to talk about so many things that are equally important to all of you. You start to feel so much more connected. That was the experience I had with politics, the positive experience. It's not all bad. It's 60% horrid. And it's not like just 60% bad. It's like 60% the worst it could be. And the other 40% is incredibly positive. People want to see their neighbors fighting for them. They don't want to see people they've never met, never heard of, or from the town over running their local politics. Get involved. Join your local Republican executive committee. It's free. You can become a voting member on your local REC that literally controls the direction of your Republican politics. It's in every city. It's one night a week for an hour. Go become an REC member. So you have voting power if you don't want to hold office. That is the most effective level of citizen voting power, is your local REC. The Democrats have an equivalent to it. I just don't know what it's called. But do it too if you're a Democrat. I don't care if you're a Republican, a Democrat, or a libertarian, an anarchist. I don't care. If you're America only, you're my fucking people. Because that means me as a constitutionalist, you as a anarchist, even though it seems so far apart, we're actually have the same goal. And that's how we're going to fix all this shit. We all really need to stop thinking of ourselves as, oh, I'm Irish descent. Oh, I'm Scottish descent. Oh, I'm Trinidadian descent. Oh, I'm Cuban descent. Oh, I'm Finnish descent. If you were born here and you're more than second generation, you're motherfucking American. We are American. It's not a crime. It is not a sin to love your country. It is not a sin to want the best for America. It is not a sin to want to be on the very top of the food chain. But in order to be on the very top of the food chain, you actually have to settle with the fact that there might be some things that might go against what your heart finds comfortable, but your mind knows is the right thing. And you just have to buckle down sometimes and do things that you don't necessarily want to do, but you do it anyway because it's for the good of everyone. And my friends, that sacrifice is what Jesus Christ demonstrated, the epitome of true love. Putting yourself to the side. Doing things you don't want to do. Think about it in your marriage. Anybody that's been married 10 years and up knows to make it work, you have to put yourself to the side and put the other person first 100%. Period. That's the only way it works. And that's the way it works for our country, too. That's how we love our country. We pour ourselves into making America cohesive. So you know what I'm saying? Do you guys feel what I'm saying? I feel like I'm struggling to like make it the texture and the flavor to come out, but that's the best I got right now. Sheriff courts, Jack, yes, are being started. 2 judges have been elected in your county. Yes, it is. I'm finding reports of that kind of. I'll be motherfucking damned. Look, if shit gets really bad, real bad, and I'm like 60, if I gotta do something extreme to freaking change the course of America and keep fucking Sharia law out of here, it's fine. I'll do it. I'll sit in jail at 60. It's fine. I got that a little much longer. If it meant saving my entire country, absolutely. We are losing America if we ever had a definition of it. What is Americana? Does anyone even know what Americana is? We're so confused because all we ever fucking do around here is separate ourselves off into little groups where, oh, you're Irish? Okay, I'll go over there and fuck everybody else. Oh, you're black? Okay, I'm gonna go over here and fuck everybody else. Oh, the only people who don't fucking do that in America are whites. They're the least racist people I've ever met in my life up to now. I went from first grade, my white teacher not giving me a desk and a chair, to being 40 years old and literally watching white people kissing the feet of black people online. So it is the best fucking time to be not white in America. So I don't hear any more fucking complaining from blacks, browns, or yellows, or reds. Because whites are more subservient to you than I've ever observed in my entire life. It's enough. It's done. They've proved they're sorry. Let it fucking go. And all of you whites, get over your fucking white guilt. Enough. No more white guilt. Be proud for who you are. Be proud for where you come from. Be proud for the skin that's on you. You are beautiful. You have a lot to contribute culturally. Now it's time America blends together. Now it's time to turn on the blender. Turn off the borders. No more H-1B visas. Oh my God, look at y'all. 40. Look at this little circle right here. 40's coming. I gotta get to the gym. 40's coming. 40's here. 41 is coming. But no, we have, like Nick Fuentes, there's a lot of shit I find offensive that he says. But then I tell my emotions to go get out of my way and just listen to what he's saying. And that was one of the things that I found offensive at first. When he was like, we need to shut immigration down immediately and no more immigration. I was like, what? Because, my mom's an immigrant legally. But after the initial shock of what he said, I was like, like Psych 201, 301, he's not wrong. This is how cultures form. Immigration stops. I mean, it's science. Billy says fire at 40. Well, Judge Joe Brown, my good friend, he tells me I just got ripe at 40, so I just trust him. I'm trying to get him on the show, so he says he's going to. We just got to get our schedules lined up. But y'all be ready for a 3-hour show when Judge Joe Brown comes on, because he can fucking talk. And it'll be him talking the whole time because he's a fucking talker. And I'm telling you, you want to hear what he's saying because it's gold. What he has to say, because he's like 80 and he's black. He was a judge. He was in Hollywood, not Hollywood, but he was in, in the industry. And he's ultra MAGA. Oh man, I can't wait to get him on the show. It's a blessing to be in his presence, honestly. And Roger Stone as well. To be in his presence is a humbling thing because the man he's been reborn and he's a very, very just, oh my gosh, I love him. I do. I would take a bullet for Roger Stone. He doesn't have a lot to say, unlike Judge Joe Brown, who would also take a bullet for when it comes to the political arena. Not like, obviously my kids and my husband come before them, but figuratively and hyperbolically, if I need to come to their defense, I will be there because those are two old men that are legacy, like there are predecessors that set up, they watched all this collapse and they have so much gold to say. And I love hearing them talk. All right. Moving on. I have a jealous monkey on my screen.
This is so cute. She is not happy. Look at her face. Oh my god, I'm sorry.
That's cute. Whack! First, I gotta say, orangutan arms are long as shit. My mom told me there were orangutans in her country. White guilt kills. You're right, Jack. I.e. Charlie Kirk's death. Those school shooters, they're all fucking white because everyone's bullying them in school for being white. I've seen it. I've watched it with mine own eyes. This freaking girl, this monkey, she's hilarious. The greater apes always impress me because of how much they are really like us. They didn't realize they experienced jealousy like that, but you could tell she's looking at her like, bitch, you ain't even the same species. She's gonna go home and give her husband, orangutan husband, a lecture on bestiality with the humans. Roger keeps asking me to get on his show. I was on his show before and I'm just like, yes. And then we never fucking do it. So we need to make that happen. But Roger's got something else in the pipeline for me. So, I'm just waiting to see what it is. He told me the other week, be ready. Whatever that means. Be ready. I was like, yes, sir. Reporting to duty. Reality Pocket says you should have a title so people know what to put in the repost. Title? Oh, you mean for the episode? Oh, yeah. The thing is, I have to go freaking change all of them. We didn't really expect the show to pick up the way it did. I'm just kind of keeping everything the same until it feels right. You have to actually just look in the description because I put what we're talking about in the description of the title. But you're right, especially maybe for Rumble, because if you're rating it, it probably looks really ambiguous to just say TTN E39. And I did give the shout out in, I don't know what happened there. So I did give the shout out. Look, Reality Pocket, let me discover how to do things on my own. I don't really need to be told all that stuff because I know I'm a professional. Y'all don't know that. I just don't click things. I'm not the computer person. But this is not my first rodeo with podcasts or the entertainment industry. Your girl's been on TV a lot. It's so funny. The times that people recognize me, and I look so different from when I was younger. But yeah, I did. Of course, I shouted that out. That's what I did. So not sure what happened there, but maybe you missed it. And I also typed it up in the chat. But welcome, Hunter. Welcome, Road Gliding. It's nice to see you back. Wine and Google. I love that screen name. That's a cool name. All right, moving on. Let's see what the bigger plan is.
Entertainment purposes only. Most people still think they're watching a game. They don't realize they're witnessing the most complex military operation in modern history. What if every headline, every scandal, and every failure was part of the plan? What if the chaos wasn't proof of collapse, but evidence of contra? The truth isn't hiding in the noise. It's encoded in the operation itself.
I wish John was on right now. John would be geeking if he was watching this. He would start blowing up the chat right now. Come on, Killuminati John. I'm summoning you.
Nothing about 2017 to 2025 was random or unplanned. Every move, every delay, every loss was part of the same battlefield strategy that began long before the public realized a war had started. The world thought it was watching ordinary politics. But what was really unfolding was continuity of command guided by military law and strategic deception. Between 2018 and 2020, a web of laws and orders was set into motion. Title 10, Title 32, Federalization Directives. Each one prepared the battlefield before the public even knew there was a war. Every move was lawful. Every activation was pre-approved.
We've been
by the
talking about
Constitution
that.
Itself.
We've been talking about that together in the chat, just like how it's been a whole plan for decades and everything, and it's a slow drip. They can't just drop socialism and communism on independent-minded Americans. They gotta slow drip you into it. You know what I mean?
Thank you to Derek Johnson, the mapmaker on this laws and orders terrain. While the media mocked and the crowd slept, a shadow chessboard was being played under unconventional warfare doctrine.
Ooh, I love that description. A shadow chessboard. She's talking in 5D words, if you really know your spiritual shit, she's speaking spiritually.
Became the new battlefield, and patience the deadliest weapon. Every headline was a move, every outrage a distraction. They told you to trust the plan. Few realized it wasn't faith they were asking for, it was composure during an active mission. If those orders were unconstitutional, why are they still active? Why did no administration, no Congress, no court shut them down? Because they can't. They are lawful wartime directives operating under the same authority that launched the mission before 2021. The laws were written by patriots for this exact moment in history. This was never about a single election or a 4-year term. It was the execution phase of a plan written years before the public even realized it existed. President didn't walk away, although we know he is central casting. He shifted theaters from the public stage to military oversight. And that's why 45 to 47 isn't a slogan. It's a continuum that the
Italian Prime Minister Giorgio. I don't know. Are you talking about? Is that a female? I know the female who is almost kind of like she reminds me of Trump, but I don't know if that's the Prime Minister. So I think that's her, but correct me if I'm wrong. If I don't know. If I'm thinking of a different person, then I don't know this Minister Giorgio. But I think the Prime Minister is the one. It's a woman, right? And she's got dirty blonde hair, and she reminds me of Trump. She's like a female Trump.
public saw an exit. The military saw a handoff of the battlefield. In war, you don't announce your counteroffensive. You let the enemy celebrate their illusion of victory. This was that moment, a quiet maneuver beneath the noise. A controlled exposure designed to awaken the world while the enemy revealed themselves. The optics weren't chaos, they were calculated theater. The so-called administration wasn't sovereign power. It was a temporary facade, a puppet government used as a mirror to expose the rot. A movie for the blind, a mirror for the awake. Every blunder dot, every scandal, every collapse, all pieces of a script designed to wake the sleeping masses. This wasn't politics, it was a psyop for the soul, designed to make the world question everything it thought was real. This is what fifth-generation warfare looks like. It's not fought with tanks and missiles, it's fought with narratives, psyops, and legal precision. The battlefield is your mind. The weapon is information, the objective is consciousness. When charges were brought in 2023 and dropped in 2024, the world thought it was coincidence. But the official records referred to a sitting president. Think about that, the optics said. Former. The document said, sitting. The illusion was the camouflage. The law was the proof. In asymmetric warfare, timing is everything. You let the enemy believe they're in control right before you reveal they never were. 4547 isn't two presidencies, it's one continuous operation, spanning both the illusion and the reality. The calm before the constitutional storm. Every order from 2018 to 2020 still stands for a reason. They were written for this exact stretch of time.
So who agrees? Do you guys agree? It's kind of impossible to believe that like this hasn't been going on way before we ever could notice. You know what I'm saying? This they started this up before anybody had a freaking clue. And I think that it started getting more obvious during well, there was hints of it, I'll say, during Desert Storm. But I think it got the most obvious to like the layman after 9/11 through the Afghanistan and Iraq war. Because it just didn't make any fucking sense. We started realizing as soldiers started coming home, things started coming out, and it made people start to really investigate like the way the towers fell, and it reminded them a lot of the Timothy McVeigh bombing thing. Was that at the Olympics? I was young. I don't remember. Something with Timothy McVeigh. But it reminded them of that. And, you know, it just started people on this whole thing. And I think 9/11 really started waking people up to the globalist agenda. The globalist agenda started really in 1914. So, you know, it's been kind of honestly really over 100 years officially, but I would give it a good 60 in terms of like awareness to the public. A good 60 years of like people are starting to catch on, and I would give it a good 25 of people saying no, our government is just like the rest of them, and then a good 10 or 12 since 2016 with Trump started waking a lot of people up with his style and everything he was saying. So, you know, it's been just like it's been a slow drip to convert you to communism and socialism. It takes almost more force to wake you up out of that, but you have to do it slowly too. Because think about it. Trying to force wake someone up out of a cult doesn't work. It makes them dig into their belief system even further because their belief system told them that you were coming, that the devil was coming to weaken your faith. And I'm just using that across. It could be corporate. It can be religious. It can be whatever. Academic. But whatever cult it is you're in, they prepare you for the people coming that are going to speak critical thinking to you. And they give you the thought patterns to keep in mind on what mental judo you need to play to avoid being sucked into the enemy's way of thinking. So by the time someone who's good and honest comes and tries to help you, you already like, nope, you're the devil. I'm not supposed to listen to you. Does that make sense? I need to really start getting on earlier. Because, man, I tell you, last night I was competing with Alex Jones and Nick Fuentes. They came on right after me, and if I had known they were on, I would have rated Nick Fuentes. That would have been so fun. I would have rated Nick Fuentes on Bumble. Thank you, Data. Thank you for the confirmation. I'm going to rely on you because a lot of times I'm like, my freeform thought, I don't know if my freeform thought is linear in my head, but I don't know if it's coming out linear to you guys. Data, my apologies if I was snappy at you. And I appreciate your help. Reality Pocket said that the prime minister from Italy is hot. I think she's really pretty too. He said, you're a sweetheart compared to my ex-wife. I'm a bitch, though. Really, Reality Pocket? You know what I was dealing with emotionally before I came on, y'all? In real life, oh my God, my lungs. That's a good thing I decided to stop vaping when I decided. What was I saying? Oh, what I've been dealing with all day is the fact that not a lot of people like me in real life. I am I'm the kind of person that people love intensely or hate intensely. No one has like a middle ground with me except for possibly my roommate. Mine and my husband's roommate. But everyone else either is, well, my old boss told me about my because I was a manager at this company. He was like, Luna. He was like, what is going on? I was like, what do you mean? He had only been my boss for like 3 months. So my boss before him like knew me like a book. But he was like, what is going on here? He's like, half of your staff will like die on a sword for you. And then the other half wants to fucking kill you. And I said, yeah, Oz, look at the half. I said, pull up the sales numbers for the half that hates me. And pull up the sales numbers for the half that'll die on a sword for me. So he did. And I said, do you see how much money the ones who will die on a sword for me, do you see how much money how much they're making? He's like, yeah, they're doing so good. And I was like, yeah. And you see the ones who hate me, you see their numbers? Yeah, they're doing terrible. I said, the ones that'll die on a sword for me are actually appreciating my mentorship. And the ones that hate me are too emotional to understand that I'm teaching them that their chair is their own business. I'm teaching them how to be business owners. And to be business owners, you have to think a certain way. You can't be all emotional artists. You have to have a business mind, and they don't want to get out of their little emotional artist bubbles. I'm an artist I do lots of forms of art for work. Two of them are in the beauty industry. One is hair. This is the hair industry. So I'm like known to be a badass bitch. However you interpret badass bitch, you're correct. Yeah, production just said you're either that bitch or that bitch. Jack said, nothing wrong with that. Don't forget Vegas 2017. Oh, the shooting? Yes! Bro, Slow Ride just brought it back. Yeah. You know, that shooting hasn't popped. That shit did make me, you know what? I am so glad you said that, Slow Ride, because that was husband. Was that Las Vegas shooting that I totally forgot about until Slow Ride just mentioned it? Was that not the shooting where I woke up where I was like, hold on a minute. What the fuck, for real? It is. That's crazy that you said don't forget that, because it is meaningful for you in your world. And I completely forgot about it in my world. And that was the event that made me start getting into politics, because my family bloodline with politics, I was like, fuck politics. And then I just was like, warrior activated. Brr, something's wrong. Data said moves, maybe. Sure, some of them are bad. I think things grow both bad and good. Moves, no. Grow, yes. Entropy is always in. I'm waiting for only one move, the best move. Data, in your true data fashion, in cyborg form, I don't have a fucking clue what you just said. So I'm going to need you to simplify that down for my simple mind. I'm neurodivergent, so sometimes things that are to be said between the lines go over my head if I'm not already engaged in the line of thought with you. So sometimes things don't click with me right away. And that's one of those things that you just said. I don't know what the fuck you just said. And I just need you to say it in the way autistic people can understand. Because what y'all don't know about me is I'm on the spectrum. There it is, folks. Ta-da! So many people have said to me, you're like a character. You're like a cartoon. That's why. That's why. And I've just accepted it. And it's actually given me a lot of liberation to have come to this medical journey, because I was severely abused because of my neurodivergence. Nobody fucking understood me. I was really treated really badly. And I really was at a suicidal place. And God saved me because I prayed and I actually surrendered for real. And for the first time, a psychiatrist fucking took me fucking serious. God led me right to the place I needed. And it was a psychiatrist that understood how trauma reshapes the brain and causes neurodivergence. And so I have two types of neurodivergence. I have chronic PTSD, and I have to go through the full evaluation for autism, but everyone knows. Because my father was also on the spectrum, and it passes down through the paternal gene. And I also had every single vaccine. My parents didn't know any better. They gave it to me, and there's that. But, hey, Bert. But, so yeah, my doctors were like, yeah. ADHD is probably more what you have. So it's, not H, so oddity. So autism mixed with ADD, but it's like a type that it goes under the radar for people, because I'm very good at I'm really strong-minded. I'm very self-disciplined, and I'm very in control of my emotions because I was abused very, 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 very young. And that teaches you really how to disconnect from yourself, disassociate, and shut it down. I could go to war and be fine. I'd be one of the people that come back fine, because I conquered a lot of really scary shit at a really young age. And it made me survive my entire life. And after my dad died, all of a sudden I started feeling everything from my entire life that I never felt. And I almost ruined my entire life after my dad in this last year. So it was go to fucking doctors, get into recovery, and start talking. Because one thing Luna has never done is got deep with anyone. I would get deep about other people's things, but talking about my shit is never what I would do. So therefore I had this lost puppy syndrome, where I would be so distracted from all of my own garbage by helping other people in an addictive way. And when my dad died, it just made everything fucking get jumbled up and all come crashing to hell. And I just almost ruined my life. And so now here I am on this show, which started out after running for Congress a few years ago, going dark after running for Congress, going no, I need to take care of me. I knew something bad was coming. I knew it spiritually. I had no idea. My cousin was about to die a brutal death and that my dad was going to die the next year. I told everyone publicly, I'm going silent for a while. My family is priority and we have medical things going on and I'm not going to be involved in politics anymore. And I went through all of the things I just described to you guys. And up to the point of like, now it's time to start talking about your feelings. So the porch lives started. And the porch lives, y'all, I can't even look at the camera telling all this. I've been looking at the wall. The trauma's still there a little bit. But this is progress, like me talking about it. I'm aware you're there, so I'm not looking at the camera. But the camera is what helped because you're not there. So I was on lives, on my front porch, just pouring my heart out, reading the Bible, reading the Talmud, talking about the things that were on my mind and others, crying in some, being angry in some. Charlie Kirk was the catalyst to get me to fucking have the bravery to start talking about what the fuck I feel. Because I couldn't believe that someone like Charlie was shot like that on... Whoa, that's the thing that's getting me crying. I need tissue. Was shot like that in the fucking neck for what he stood for, in the neck. And such a beautiful man who every man, in my opinion, should strive to be like. You don't have to be a Christian to strive to be like Charlie. But it made me get really to the point where, like, you know what? Fuck this. I don't know when's going to be my last damn day. I want to get better. And honestly, this show is me listening to my therapist. And this show has been, honestly, the best therapy that I have really had ever in my entire life. And all of you guys, and my husband's been sitting here on my side, and it's like whenever him and I start creating together, it's the times we stop fighting, you know, because he's got a traumatized wife. And you guys coming in here and, you know, sharing your opinions, and you don't have to agree with me on everything, but it's civilized discourse where people are talking about what matters to them, whether it's political or spiritual or aliens. I'm here for it. And that's what I've come to provide. So, you know, I kept myself together there. Aren't y'all proud of me? I kept my makeup pretty. But I didn't mean to get too derailed on that, but it's just, you know, the conversation flows, and sometimes it's just appropriate because this is a public space, and I'm no different than you, and you're no different than me, even though the world, the mainstream media wants us all to think we're different and make us fight. What I've been discovering is, yeah, there's the one-off like trolls that come in through here that just are mentally unwell, and then there's the government. And it's easy to spot, but for the most part, we're all the same. And it's important for us to like show the vulnerability and the real feelings and the real things, because I know someone listening right now is going through the same thing. I'm not the only one that's grown up in a cult. I'm not the only one. Someone just messaged me a long message just yesterday, going through the same exact thing with his daughter that got absorbed by the crazy, psychopathic, perverted cult that is preying on our children, his beautiful daughter. And my heart ached for him, while at the same time said, okay, it feels comforting to share my pain, because when you share pain, think about it. You're letting a little pressure out of the pressure cooker. You're sharing. It's an exchange, so there's a little less pressure. Knowing someone else feels it, because you're not just alone, and it builds up and your trunk gets tight and your neck and your traps and everything. It's good. It's therapeutic. So here I am for it. I don't know if emotional shit is weird for you guys, but to me, it's not even really emotional shit. It's just real life problems and the fact that we're all up against an evil machine. Here's how it makes us feel, and the emotions is what drives us to fight for it. If we don't have love, then what is there to fight for? And if you don't have the emotions, where's the drive for the fight? No one engages in war if it isn't for the love of something. Love produces all. And that makes you realize Jesus' message about love, it's not about just simply turning the cheek all the time, giving the other cheek all the time. Sometimes it is about throwing a punch. Sometimes it is about violence. And sometimes it's about compassion. Sometimes it's about jealousy. And sometimes it's about neutrality. But love produces everything. So when Jesus says that what you need to concern yourself about with is to be love, the only one thing in the Bible that describes what God is love. The Bible says that God is just, God is kind, God is jealous, that God has power, has justice, has qualities, but the only thing it says God is, like that is a human, is love. So when Jesus says the law that you are to follow is the law of love to gain the kingdom of heaven, to become one with God. The Catholic Church, the politics of religion, is what makes you feel guilty for your natural inclinations. The reason why you have to feel guilty for your natural inclinations, outside of the ones that are self-serving and causes harm to the others. It's the difference. Your natural inclinations had to be sinful to guarantee penance is paid to the church. That's the only way the church made money, was to guarantee you were sinful. And the only way they could get you to believe you were sinful was to tie your natural urges to sin and then give you parameters to follow. To feel, oh, you love me? Since I'm sinful, oh, I've gained your approval now? I'm good now? Did I make up for it? That is why I'm doing what I'm doing, because we have to stop. We have to stop feeding into, we are literally in the fucking matrix. Like, it's crazy that movie existed. And when I was 14 years old, I said to my dad at the end of it, I was like, are they literally describing the world, the way the devil has gained control of the human psyche through government and politics? And he was like, what? How did you? I was 14. Mind you, I've been spiritually connected my whole life, which was the only way that cult could never get a hold of me. And I cannot not talk about this shit. And me not talking about how I feel, the angers inside of me, the experiences I go through, and how it pertains to what I see happening in the world would be to defy God's assignment for me. It's my nature. I have to. Because I have to fight that thing. And since I have to fight that thing, I have to spread my emotions on it because I need help. It's a huge machine. So here I am. At this point, you either think I'm insane or you think that I'm just a girl trying to save the next generation. Thanks, Jack. Can I see Rumble real quick and see what's going on over there? We're all growing in some movement. That's what I'm saying. Charlie Kirk, I agree, is a great man and grew of that movement. People join, for example. Yeah. It's important. Like, you don't have to agree. But when you get comfortable with love, it becomes okay to disagree because now we're all on the same playing field. We all have the same goal. It's okay to disagree because we're actually trying to get to the same place. So let's not talk about anymore what we disagree about, but let's talk about what we fucking think is awesome about each other. And that's how we'll be American. We have to just start talking about fucking being fucking awesome Americans. Like, stop with the fucking guilt. I'm done with it. I'm motherfucking American. Shit. Whip my titties out and everything because that's what it means to be American. Nobody fucking gets it. They're like, oh, you're such a slut being conservative. No one said I'm conservative. I am not conservative. I'm a constitutionalist. I'm a minimalist. No one's getting it. It's highbrow humor, I know. Everyone thinks I'm just trying to be a hoe on here. It's fucking highbrow humor, you assholes. Not you guys here that are with me chilling. Because y'all are my fucking people. Oh, yeah, that's the point. I have the freedom to be a motherfucking slut if I want to be. I choose not to be. I can behave however the fuck I want. I can dress however the fuck I want. I can light my fucking joint with my pistol lighter. This is what it means to be fucking American, folks. With my fucking pasties. Because it's the content of the character. Because I bet any of you that follow me know if we were in battle together, it doesn't fucking matter. You guys know it won't matter what I'm wearing. You guys know what the business is. If I'm on your 6, you already know what the business is. U.S. Oh, man, you got to go get yourself or move to a state where you can do it whenever you want. Balls to the wall, America. That's right, baby. The red, white, and blue is in my veins. I love it. Oh, speaking of, perfect time because I'm getting fiery. Let me show you what the fuck is going on in the city I lived in before I moved to Florida. This pissed me off when I fucking saw it. Here we go. What is going on in Dallas, folks?
I saw what happened in Irving, Texas over the weekend. So let's go ahead and continue down the rabbit hole of what's actually happening in the DFW suburbs. Because once you see this, you can't unsee it. I'm going to show you clips of this video because the original video is over 20 minutes long. If you want the full thing, I'm going to go ahead and drop the X link down in the comments and y'all can go watch the whole thing.
Lips.
What you're about to see are new neighborhoods that are popping up within Irving and Plano.
Fucking crazy.
Everybody is Muslim here. Names have been chosen on Muslim scientists of the golden era of Islam. So this is the masjid, mashallah. They have the Salam Masjid here. Private park, mashallah, written on all of them. Allah Muhammad. Oh my god, this one is a real beauty. This is Muslims, right? Medina Villas, I knew it. They're Muslim. The masjid is right next door. We just walk to the masjid, mashallah. That's how easy it is here. Subhanallah, in America, in the United States. Welcome to Irving, Texas. And we are entering a very interesting community. A community made up of Muslims. A community where the street names are all Muslims. This is the Valencia State's Mahmoud Egal Drive.
They're not just immigrant communities. These are entire subdivisions.
You know what I would do? And my husband knows this is true. I would fucking literally go get fucking paint and paint Christian names like St. Michael Lane on it. I would dress in all black and fucking do that. This is how we're gonna fucking fight back. You don't have to fucking hurt anybody, but you do need to get creative. Make a point. How is anybody gonna? Or you could just write "fuck that" on it. You don't have to make it Christian. I would make it Christian just to go the whole other way, because that's my style. I'm fucking Wiccan. I'm a Christian Wiccan, so let that sink in. But you can play the rest of the video. This pissed me off, man. Like,
one ideology, one culture, and one worldview. These folks are not trying to assimilate into America's suburbia. They're trying to build their own separate version of it.
We did.
If you understood the
I'm
actual
trying to get my
doctrine
homie to leave it.
behind
Got my
political
cousin to
Islam,
leave it.
you would understand that the strategy has always been the same. Change the inside first, and then everything else follows. And yes, I know Governor Abbott officially designated the Muslim Brotherhood and CARE as terrorist organizations in
and
Texas.
She sounds like she's
and
from
that
where
is
I'm
a
from.
huge step, but it doesn't automatically stop these neighborhoods from popping up. And it definitely doesn't stop these people living
I
in these
love
areas
her. I
from
wanna
running
message
and
her.
winning a lot of these local elections. Things like school boards, zoning commissions, city councils.
See, she's saying
These are
the same thing I'm
positions
saying.
that decide what gets built, what gets banned,
guys
and what
gotta
your
do-
kids are being taught.
Come on,
and
now.
while conservatives are having a whole fight amongst themselves over about who's
People, that is what I was saying before I started running. And let me tell you something. Roger Stone, the reason why I got that endorsement is because he was trying to convince me not to run for Congress, because I'm just coming out of nowhere running for Congress, not city council, not school board or whatever. He was like, you should run for something smaller. And I was like, no, I want this fucker right here. He's like, why won't you just go for something easier? And I'm like, because I want this fucker right here where I live, because he's a fucking traitor is what he is. And I would not back down. And he couldn't, the establishment could not get me to fucking stop. And he literally said, he told me that was the reason why I endorsed you, because nobody, not even me, could convince you to stop. And that's when I knew you were right for Congress. So if I can fucking do that, you guys can run for school board, mayor, fucking, I don't care. Like, be a trash man. They actually pay well. Start fucking dropping fucking propaganda, paraphernalia, just out in neighborhoods. Like, get creative, man. Like, come on. Like, we gotta fucking be involved in our cities. We have to. I got involved in my REC before I ran for Congress. That's what I did. I eventually ran for Congress because people started encouraging me to do it. I didn't just wake up and go, I want to run for Congress. I was actually terrified the whole time. But I just felt like I had to. And because nobody else was. So, and then the radio host, Mark K, for the fucking big pop station down here in Jacksonville, who wouldn't have me on to interview me for running for Congress because he was supporting John Rutherford, is now running for Congress in this cycle against John Rutherford. Fucking Mark K. He's just irrelevant now and still wants to be famous. He's fucking dingbat. Mark K. I hope fucking Mark. Let me hashtag Mark K. I'm fine with starting a war with Mark K. That'd be fun. Mark K. Ooh, y'all seeing y'all seeing the corporate Luna come out. Y'all are seeing the soldier come out. You getting a little glimpse because I forgot y'all were watching. Reality Pocket says, just in the short time I've watched you, I could see you through our eyes. If you could see you through our eyes, you would know how much we already love you. Oh, jeez. Thank you. Yeah, we should do a fan of the day. Production was just telling me that we should do a fan of the day. Yeah, Reality Pocket's winning so far. So y'all guys, let me write that down. Production says they're gonna make a sound bite for fan of the day, and the winner gets the winner gets what? Oh, you could get an autographed copy of my notes for this episode. My handwriting when I have to write fast is atrocious. And a sound bite, and yeah, Reality Pocket's winning. You guys better fucking ooh, that's a cute idea. I love it. Go producer Ryan. Sometimes Ryan be having some good ones. He said, well, color me flattered. So I told him sometimes he needs to have a mic. He doesn't like to talk much. I'm like, good. But sometimes you should have a mic. But hold on, I gotta reorient myself because now I'm. So he said you wouldn't be on the internet if you were a minimalist. Oh. I'm trying to get the reference though. Look, I can operate on pretty much nothing. I have a bullhorn. I already was daydreaming about that. Literally, I was literally yesterday, maybe even not even yesterday, maybe it was this morning. When I was campaigning, I had this freaking bullhorn thing. That shit was fun. I was obnoxious. Look, if we had no internet, I would be the damn town crier, I promise you. People, I would get tomatoes. I would be the one coming home with a mixture of tomatoes and lettuce and flowers and money thrown at me because I would be on that bullhorn. If someone turned the lights out to the world right now, I will be on that freaking bullhorn speaking the truth to the passersby because I'm telling you, it's just a put upon me. I have to. I know. I have finally understood my turmoil. I had to go through all this horrible shit in my life. I had to understand predators for a reason. You don't understand a lot through your early life and you can really get angry, and I'm a warrior, and when you don't realize what you are, that anger just is really fucking self-destructive. And I really have learned to dance with the devil and make friends with my demons because the devil has done me really well. The thing that I struggle with because I got a late start in life with is emotional. Well, I'm a bit emotionally delayed, I guess, because I didn't ever let it out, and I never gained perspective from other people because I never let it out. So, it's a work in progress. My pride is been battered a long time ago, and I think that's why I'm the way I am. It's like I'm okay with putting myself out there because you can throw the tomatoes and you can throw the lettuce, but I understand that God has an assignment. Yeah, I have a frog in my throat because I'm trying not to cry. It's just when you upgrade from being you're grateful because your relationship changes with the physical experience of life when you shed the physical mind and body and become a spiritual being. Your relationship is with yourself starts to become a lot better, I think, at my age. I think I just have a unique experience because my therapist was the one that had to pound it into my head how bad it actually was what I went through. It's that bad that you're shocked that it's not like that is that bad because it was just normal and you're strong. And when it all comes crashing through, you have two choices. And if you are a survivor, you have to make friends with it all. And there's a weird feeling with making friends with that because the guilt comes in because you think you're doing something wrong. So really weird experience and a really strange thing I'm trying to explain. But it's a calling is what I'm saying. And you will let the wolves come because Jesus is right there. You know what I'm saying? It's different. You gave up on your own physical strength. It's over. You surrendered. You literally are like, eat me. Because I got that guy. So, and it's a good feeling. And I had a really fucked up relationship with Jesus and God for a while from being raised in a cult. And I was so liberated the day that I actually felt Jesus' presence for the first time. After very much being a Wiccan and realizing I don't have to give up what I believe about nature and God and my relationship with that to be a Christian the way it was meant to be, because being a Wiccan is being just like Christ in its truest form. You have a very healthy relationship with being real and being grounded in what is here and the balance between that and really knowing that love is the path. And it's a hard lesson when you're a warrior, because I'm telling you, I can get Donkey Kong. I'm the worst of it all. I'm Scottish, Scandinavian, and West Indian. I can get Donkey Kong, you know what I mean? So Jesus, that's why I need Jesus. Because I need Jesus because I can get punchy. But yeah, if you mess with the bull, you're gonna get the horns. That's for sure. All right. Well, what I think we're gonna do here is continue the rest of the show like tomorrow. because it is late. And we just started vibing, and sometimes that's okay. We can do the vibe thing. But let me check out. I saw someone saying pick me. Who was that? Pick me. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Okay, I'm glad y'all like that idea, because Irish is saying that's cool if you mess. And then Irish says, I feel differently. I left the pack to walk into the wilderness as a lone wolf. That's kind of what I'm saying, though. Like, I'm not saying I'm not a wolf. I'm just saying I'm not that. I determine who's in my pack. But I like a lot of solitude. Oh, yeah. Right. Yes. Being a mom changes things. But no, I always was like, I'm never having kids and all this stuff. But it's very good that I had kids, because I would have turned out very differently. I needed that softness and compassion. I needed to have the innocence around me, because what I saw around me was bad, evil people. And yeah, God made sure I was a mama real fast. I mean, he sent a guy in for 3 months. He was like, here, boop, boop. You don't need this one, but I need you to have a baby. Like, forget what the fucking cult says. You need to be a mama. And I'm very grateful for being a mama, because I'm ungovernable. That's just how you sum it up. My kids make me governable. My kids give me the governor inside myself to want to be a better human being and think about my choices and not just respond to my primal instincts. You know, there's like a higher order to it. That's what I appreciate about recovery and spirituality. It's just realizing, like, yeah, I don't have to do it all by myself. Hold on a minute. Jesus was like literally telling me the whole time. Like, literally, you have power in you. You can literally manifest the things that you need. It's just, we got to shed off this cult thinking, and it's coming at us from every damn direction. So that's why I do what I do. That's why I do what I do. And I'm glad that you guys could see through the highbrow humor, because the whole fucking get up and everything with like towing the line with my clothes, that's the fucking point. It's freedom. Ugh. So we are going to end with one video. And yeah, we need to close out with this one, because this is just very personally important. It's detransition season, folks.
What's going on here?
There are so many detransitioners now because the transgender identity is a product of social contagion. It's a trend, and a very dangerous one at that. That's why you're going to see a whole lot of graphs like this. This is 18 to 22-year-olds who identify as transgender or non-binary. You're going to see an uptick up to 2022, and then it's downhill from there. Here's another graph showing students that don't identify as male or female. Around 2020, this becomes super popular. Uptick all the way through 2022 to 2023, where you see a massive downtrend. If you're seeing a ton of your trans friends detransition right now, it's because they were manipulated by a super dangerous social trend that could have left many of them with irreversible damage, and has left many of them with irreversible damage. I truly think we're going to look back on this time in human history with a whole different set of eyes and a whole bunch of regret for what people were put through in the name of the transgender movement. For those that disagree with the statements made in this video, I truly hope you look into the stories of detransitioners and hear about the experimental surgeries and medical treatments that they've undergone, the irreversible damage that they have, because it is overwhelming. And if it's not a product of social contagion, how do you explain the graphs?
Exactly. This was a sick group of people that understand dark psychology, dark magic, the occult, that deployed a sex demon upon the earth. You can call me crazy. I really don't care. You can look at it metaphysically. You can look at it psychologically. You can look at it as an atheist or as a witch or as a Christian. It doesn't matter how you look at it. This is dark psychology that got deployed on by people who are trying to legalize pedophilia. Do the research, because I will never give that group, I will never speak their name. And the fucking freaky thing is, when this video started, I thought it was my daughter. And then I cried. And I pray for my daughter every day. Probably every hour. And her sister thinks about her probably every hour, because we talk about her frequently. And we pray every day that she is not one of the ones that does something that she can't take back. But if she's somehow seeing this video, you know you can always come home. We don't have to talk about anything. But this that happened to our kids is the scariest thing I have ever seen in my life. And it has been the thing that has hurt worse than my son dying. And that takes a lot to say. She has a family and a community that misses her and is hurting. And we know she's hurting. But as a mom, I want her to hurt at home. I want to be the one to guide her through whatever the fuck it is she's going through. She doesn't even have to explain it. I just want to be there and nearby, down the street or in the other room, just for her to know that I'm right there. That every family has problems and every family is flawed. But what you have watched is a mother that was sexually abused many times as a child, starting at the age of 4 years old, having her family lie about it and cover it up, raised in a cult, trying to keep her children away from that cult and dealing with the psychological ramifications, trying to figure out on her own how to heal from that and to protect my own daughters from that, just to have this crazy fucking cult snatch her anyway. The things I go through on a daily basis is why I started this fucking live, because I have nowhere else to turn and I am angry at these perverts who have taken control of our government, our entertainment, and our healthcare system, because I have now lost a second child and she's still alive and I could potentially never hear from her again. So that is why I am here. And that is why I say fuck Islam and fuck the Judeo bullshit and close the fucking borders, because our children are dying, literally, if not being trafficked and fucking murdered. So blow the fucking drug boats up. Who gives a fuck about a motherfucker coming here to traffic our children and get them hooked on drugs? So you can call me a Nazi, you can call me a nationalist, you can call me an anti-Semite, you can call me a bigot. I don't fucking care what you call me. I am standing up for what is natural. And that is freedom to love in a way that is innocent, that harms no other, that protects your mental health, that keeps your food clean and healthy and good air in your chest, and protects the family unit and supports the parental and child bond. Because we have too many people being silent. And my daughter is just out there, not knowing how much she is truly loved. And that fucking world is the one that confused her on what love actually means and what it looks like. They turned our kids into fucking terrified little, especially if they're white. My daughter looks like this one right here. Is this Instagram or TikTok? She looks so much like that right now. Even in the face, the bone structure, so much of her. Look at her face and look at mine. When I first saw that, I thought that was my child. And then my heart sunk because it's a detransition video, and it's like, of course, her sister told me the other day. I probably shouldn't tell you. It's just very personal. But we just pray every day. We pray to all of it. I pray to the divine. I go straight to the source. Jesus helps me with the human experience. And I talk to Jesus about my human experience. But when I pray for my daughter, I pray to the divine itself. Because that's what it's going to take to save our children. And I pray for all of them, because they're in pain. That those kids got locked down during COVID. Okay, everyone got locked down, and we all complied like the idiots that we showed our asses to be. Husbands and wives using work as an excuse to get away from each other are now forced to be at home while their kids are stuck in front of a computer listening to mom and dad argue in the background while teachers are pulling their hair out because they have no idea how to virtual learn. Kids crying, parents yelling at their kids. I saw it all on the fucking screens. It was a disaster. While that's happening, they're shoving trans ideology down their throats with the social media and in the schools. This comment from Toffee says, I was a tomboy growing up. I can only imagine the harm that would happen if everyone I kept trying to convince me I was meant to be a boy, especially during my young, vulnerable to influence years. I have a desire to be a man, but I'm certainly not a girly girl. Listen, that was me. My oldest daughter is so much like me. I was a tomboy. You've heard me talk about it. I raced cars. I rode a motorcycle. It took me a while to do the glam thing when I found my professional self. But when I was having fun, I liked to play with the boys. I was on the horses. I was on the go-karts. I was fucking doing fun shit. And it doesn't mean you're a boy. Meant to be a boy. I used to say to my dad, I wish I was a boy all the time because boys are stronger, faster. Boys get to have more fun and get to blame it on being stupid. We don't get to do that. Every girl wants to be a fucking boy because boys have the physical prowess. It isn't until we become a woman till we realize we have the sexual prowess, the psychological prowess. And I value that much more than the physical prowess, because with that, I gain physical prowess through the men around me because I only hang with alpha men who understand that I respect that. They like the way I view femininity, and that's what makes me have the availability of muscles around me a lot. I have a lot of men around me, and sometimes I have tantrums about it. Ask my husband. But I'm right where I belong. Women can't deal with me. I'm too much of a tomboy. And I cry sometimes because I have men around me treating me like, men and women aren't the same. And I cried because I'm like, no one understands me. Ah! But my lesson in life that it'll take me till I'm 90 to conquer is just the fucking surrender bullshit. Warriors don't do that. I'm working on it, Jesus. Y'all, I cannot believe I'm boohooing like this. Well, now it's all out there, and like Data said, good, now I know what it is you're fighting for. I'm glad that at least that huge thing that y'all just watched, now you know what I'm fighting for. Oh my God. Sammy Chef says, insurance covered my transition, but won't cover. Can you show them the browser so they know I'm not lying? I want the internet to see this comment. You should have kept the formatting. It says, insurance covered my transition, but won't cover my detransition. I have to see a specialist and pay out of pocket to feel like a woman again. My surgery is never going to happen. Literally, insurance won't cover the detransition. This is why I'm fighting. This is why I was angry when Charlie died, but not so much when the United Healthcare CEO died. Don't think anyone should kill anyone, but I was like, you're kind of a wicked dude, so no tears. Y'all, this is out. I need you to handle this. I need to do a show. So, if you don't want to know what the hell just happened, it's not a bad thing. If you're just coming on, it's not a bad thing. We just had some really, really real deep talk. Reality Pocket said, I wish I could hold you and take your pain away. Thank you. Sometimes you do just need a hug. You know what I mean? Sometimes. And I never remember. I never, ever remember to reach out for affection. Ever. Never. It's never on my mind. But we'll get there. We will get there. We will get there. And one day you guys will see a Luna that's like little Luna in her like most secure and like calm form. You know what I mean? So don't think I'm a basket case or anything. I'm not. It's just, this is my child, and this is the most helpless I've ever been in my entire life. So Data says, I wish everyone in the CIA, everyone in USA, just listen to what I just heard. The real Operation Goldfish is not in Russia. It should be here to protect our children and person CIA hired in CIA 2. I don't know what that means. I'm just reading a comment. I don't want like to say certain words and like it sucks that we're in a world where if I like say certain words, I don't know if like saying CIA will get me like shadow banned. I mean, I didn't say anything bad about the CIA. I'm just saying like if saying the word CIA. So yeah, I'm probably not going to read comments like that or at least those words, because I don't want to get shadowed. Because this message really needs to get out. Can we go back to Instagram? But yeah, Zio, everybody, all my alumni is coming in right now. I'm about to get off. I just finished the show. I'm gonna have to go to Rumble and watch it. This is episode 39. I'm gonna have to start titling them, as pointed out by Mr. Data. I think, was it Data or Reality Pocket? It was one of them. But it's a good suggestion. On the glasses go, so I can not look fucking gross while I at least give my alumni who just joined my opening monologue. All right. I will close out with my monologue, and it will all make sense. we just got into some really deep shit and I need a tissue. All right. Maybe he was typing CIA and making me say CIA because he really does want people in the CIA who look for those words, like they do, to hear my story. So someone grows a motherfucking conscience one day. All right. Luna's on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, and the government agents watching me from their cubicles. Hi, sweeties. Mwah, mwah. Welcome back to Thirst Trap News, the only show where freedom is hot, truth is hotter, and socialism gets a lap dance straight to hell. Tonight, we went in because Mama is done watching America get dragged through the ideological mud by people who still think communism works anywhere outside of a college dorm room debate. Let me tell you something. I didn't spend years perfecting this winged eyeliner just to be ruled by a globalist committee of joyless pencil pushers who think the future is beige jumpsuit and eating bugs for protein. No, baby, this is America only, not United Nations Hunger Games. And while we're at it, shout out to our corrupt politicians who somehow managed to commit every scandal known to mankind and still walk around Capitol Hill like it's the runway of Project Unaccountable. You ever notice that? If we mess up, we get fired. If they mess up, they get a book deal and a Netflix documentary and a new beach house funded by donors who definitely have bodies buried somewhere. But tonight is a call to action, because if the Uniparty thinks we're just going to sit here, look cute and take it, oh no, sweetheart, we can multitask, okay? We can look cute and dismantle your globalist fantasy at the same time. Speaking of fantasies, can we talk about that weird fetish the far left has developed for gender dysphoria? Like, baby, I'm all for personal freedom. Do your thing. Live your life. Wear whatever sparkle makes your soul sing. But this obsession the system has with turning confusion into a personality trait or into a medical industry gold mine? No. We're not fetishizing mental health struggles. We're not turning kids into experiments for big pharma. We're not pretending reality is optional because it trends well on TikTok. Masculinity and femininity are not the enemy. They are the spice of human existence. The divine dance of nature, magic, biology, and soul. But somewhere along the way, the globalist weirdos decided that strong men and elegant women just threaten their plans for a population of soft, confused, obedient peasants. And I'm here to say it out loud, with my heels on and my lipstick perfect. After I just got done crying, no less. No, not in this country, not in this century, and not while I still have breath in my lungs. And a Wi-Fi to stream this show on. Because America doesn't just need to be America first anymore. We've reached the point where it needs to be America only, economically, culturally, and spiritually. We fix our house first. We protect our borders first. We take care of our people first. We defend our freedoms always. It'll have some growing pains, but as long as it's America only, we'll get there. And the sanctity of human life, baby, that's not a talking point. That's the foundation. Human beings are sacred, not disposable, not programmable, not medically alterable on a whim because someone with a rainbow lanyard and a grant says affirm or else. Freedom means freedom to be fully, beautifully human in our natural forms and our natural strengths and our natural differences. So tonight, I hope you enjoyed pouring a drink with me. Put on your red and white and blue silk robe, settle in and rewatch it with your sweetie, because we're about to roast socialism tomorrow, just like we did tonight. Clown the communists, drag the globalists, expose the corrupt politicians every day, every night, and remind America that we are not the plaything of the New World Order. We are the land of fire, grit, beauty, brains, and big American energy. And we're done being quiet about it. This is Thirst Trap News, where patriotism meets eyeliner, where freedom meets femininity, and where the truth stings, but in a sexy way. I bid you all adieu. See you tomorrow.